You're about to see mistakes that veteran cruisers swear they'd never make again, because every single one of these has ruined someone's vacation, cost them hundreds of dollars, or caused chaos they never saw coming. And the wild part? Most passengers have no idea they're doing anything wrong. But on a cruise ship, where thousands of people move through tight schedules, tight spaces, and strict maritime rules, one tiny mistake can snowball into a trip-long disaster. If you're cruising in 2026, these mistakes are even riskier because new restrictions, new policies, and new technology on board mean cruise lines are enforcing things more aggressively than ever. So here are the 17 dangerous cruise mistakes you must avoid at all costs, starting with a silent one that catches first-timers and experienced cruisers every single week. You board the ship, take a deep breath, and feel that rush of excitement. But before you even drop your bags, every smart cruiser does something that most people completely overlook. They check their cabin location immediately, being placed directly under the pool deck, above the nightclub, beside a service hallway, or next to a crew access door can destroy your sleep for the entire week. One bad cabin can turn your cruise into a 7-day endurance test. The mistake? Ignoring noise until it's too late. If you catch it early, within the first hour, you have a chance to request a switch. After sail away, your options shrink to almost zero. On a ship, your cabin is your sanctuary. Protect it like it matters, because it absolutely does. But even if your cabin is perfect, this next mistake can cost you real money before the ship even leaves port. Passengers grab their drinks, start exploring, and forget one critical thing: switching their phone to airplane mode. Cruise ships sail into international waters within hours. The moment that happens, your phone can connect to maritime cellular networks that charge roaming rates so high that people return home to $500, $800, even $1,200 bills, all because they left their phone connected for a few minutes. It sounds dramatic, but it happens every single cruise. Smart travelers switch to airplane mode before they even step on the gangway. It takes 5 seconds and saves you a financial heart attack. Now here's something that surprises people the most. On embarkation day, passengers walk straight into their cabin and immediately unpack, but they forget one of the most important safety steps: inspecting and documenting everything. Cruise lines flip cabins fast, sometimes in less than 30 minutes, so any damage left by previous guests can easily be blamed on you. Scratches on furniture, cracks in mirrors, stains in carpets, or a malfunctioning safe can all end with a charge on your account at the end of the cruise. The mistake is trusting that everything is perfect. Smart cruisers record a quick video the moment they walk in. It protects you financially and gives you leverage if something needs fixing before the ship gets busy. And here's where it gets even more risky. Thousands of passengers make the mistake of assuming every part of the ship is already sanitized. But high-touch areas, like the remote, switches, railings, handles, are used by hundreds of people every week. One missed wipe during turnover can spread illness fast, especially during winter sailings or high-density holiday cruises. A 1-minute disinfecting routine gives you peace of mind and dramatically lowers your chance of getting sick on day 2. Most passengers don't realize this next mistake until they're already exhausted on day 2. They explore the ship, admire the views, grab lunch, and then suddenly discover their luggage hasn't arrived yet. So what do? They clog up the hallways, crowd the elevator areas, and block the stateroom corridors in the hottest, busiest moment of embarkation day. What they don't know is that this makes the delivery process slower, not faster. Crew members push large carts through narrow hallways, and the more passengers who stand around waiting, the longer it takes for anyone's bags to arrive. Smart cruisers drop their carry-on in the room and then immediately leave the area, go eat, explore, or relax somewhere peaceful. Give the crew space to do their jobs, and your bags will reach you faster, not slower. But even once your luggage arrives, there's a far more dangerous mistake waiting in your closet. People unpack and immediately start charging everything: phones, tablets, power banks, curlers, straighteners, fans, and steamers. On land, no problem. At sea, this is how electrical fires happen. Cruise cabins aren't built for high-wattage appliances. That travel steamer you love, it can trip a breaker or worse, trigger a small electrical burn that leaves smoke in your room and sends security knocking. And yes, it happens more often than you think. The rule is simple. Only use cruise-approved devices and never plug in multiple high-wattage tools at once. A single overheating adapter can ruin your entire sailing. Another mistake? Ignoring the muster drill. Today, most lines use a modern digital system. Watch the short safety video, then check in at your muster station. Yet countless passengers delay it thinking it's optional or something they'll get to later. What they don't know is that the ship literally cannot leave until every guest completes it. So when you skip it, you're not being clever. You're delaying thousands of other passengers and drawing unwanted attention from crew who are trained to hunt down anyone who hasn't completed their safety check. Smart cruisers knock it out the moment they board. It takes 2 minutes and eliminates the stress later. But the most expensive mistake? Not securing reservations early. Specialty dining, spa treatments, show tickets, cabanas, adults-only deck passes, everything has limited space, and some ships sell out before the first evening. If you walk into embarkation day without checking your app or heading straight to the reservation desk, you're guaranteeing yourself disappointment later. Miss the window and you're stuck with late dinners, no spa appointments, and sold-out shows. Smart cruisers always book in advance, but if that's not possible, they secure everything the moment they board. And here's a mistake nearly everyone makes at least once: trusting the ship's Wi-Fi to behave without checking the settings. Cruise Wi-Fi is notorious for draining data, logging you out randomly, or switching devices without warning. If you don't lock your plan to your device, you can accidentally burn through your minutes or megabytes before you even finish unpacking. Always check the Wi-Fi management page first, make sure only one device is authorized, and set auto updates to off. Otherwise, your phone can use your entire package just by syncing photos in the background. But even after you've settled in, there's one mistake that can quietly ruin your entire cruise: not meeting your cabin steward early. Most passengers wait until day 2 or 3 before mentioning what they need: extra pillows, a mattress topper, more towels, ice at certain times, or adjusting the beds. By then, the steward has already built their workflow for the week, and fitting in new requests becomes harder. When you introduce yourself on day 1, learn their name, and politely explain what would make your stay more comfortable, you become someone they genuinely want to help. Crew members remember kindness and clarity, and passengers who build that rapport early often get better service, faster responses, and small helpful touches all week long. Another mistake? Ignoring the disembarkation information until the last day. People assume the process is simple: pack, leave the room, walk off the ship. But the details change everything. Are you self-assist or luggage pickup? What time is your deck called? Where is your meeting point? Do you need to fill out customs forms? If you wait until the final night to figure this out, you'll end up stressed, confused, and stuck in the longest lines of the entire cruise. Smart cruisers review the disembarkation packet on day 1, plan ahead, and adjust their schedule so the final morning is smooth instead of chaotic. The next mistake can be incredibly costly: forgetting to check your onboard account early in the cruise. Most people wait until the final night, only to discover surprise charges, duplicate drink charges, accidental spa fees, misapplied gratuities, or purchases from someone else on the same ship card number. The line at guest services on the last night is legendary, 2 hours long on some sailings. Smart cruisers check their account on day 1, again on day 3, and a final time on the last evening. Catching an error early means it can be fixed instantly. Catching it late means you'll spend your final night in a queue instead of enjoying your trip. But arguably the biggest mistake, and the one almost no passengers realize, is leaving valuables scattered in your cabin. Housekeeping is safe and professional, but your cabin door is opened dozens of times a week by different staff members. room service, maintenance, minibar attendants, and supervisors. Items left on the desk, bed, or bathroom counter are more likely to be misplaced, knocked over, or accidentally thrown out during cleaning. Smart cruisers put all valuables, passports, jewelry, medication, electronics, either in the safe or in one dedicated drawer the moment they walk in. A little organization goes a long way. And finally, there's the mistake that can ruin your trip before it even begins: boarding the ship dehydrated and exhausted. Between early flights, long drives, waiting in terminal lines, and walking through the port, most passengers board tired and sweaty. They head straight for sugary drinks, cocktails, or coffee, and end up feeling sick by dinner. The smart move is simple: drink water, grab a small snack, and pace yourself. Hydration is the difference between a sluggish first day and an energized start to your vacation. Embarkation day isn't just a beginning, it's a strategy. Every choice you make in those first few hours can make your week smoother, cheaper, and far more enjoyable. Avoid these mistakes, make smart moves early, and you'll feel like a seasoned cruiser long before the ship even leaves port. But there's one more mistake that cruises rarely warn you about, and it can quietly determine the entire tone of your week. It's letting small frustrations pile up instead of addressing them early. Maybe your cabin feels a little too warm. Maybe your dining assignment isn't what you expected. Maybe the Wi-Fi is acting up, or your room key doesn't always scan. Most passengers wait, hoping the issue will resolve on its own. It rarely does. And by day 3, a tiny inconvenience becomes a constant irritation that follows you everywhere. Smart cruisers handle problems the moment they appear. Guest services can't fix what they don't know about, and crew members genuinely want you to have a great experience. Early communication creates early solutions, and early solutions create better cruises. There's another subtle mistake that passengers overlook: trying to do too much on day 1. Embarkation day is exciting, overwhelming, and full of energy. People rush from the pool to the buffet, to the bars, to the upper decks trying to start the vacation right. But the truth is, the first day is about foundation, not speed. It's about setting the tone, getting your bearings, meeting the crew who will take care of you, and preparing your cabin for the week. Smart cruisers move with intention, not chaos. They don't chase every attraction. They set up the trip they'll enjoy for the next 7 days. And finally, the most important lesson of all: every cruise becomes what you make of it. The passengers who have the best experiences aren't lucky, they're prepared. They avoid these embarkation mistakes, make smart moves early, and treat the crew and ship with respect. Do that, and your cruise won't just be good, it'll be unforgettable. You've been watching Yas Cruise Hacks Pro, where smart travelers save more, stress less, and cruise better. Subscribe because your next upgrade starts with the next video.